Hello and welcome to our first video on how to create a character using D&D Beyond. So, one of the easiest ways to create a character is to use the inbuilt character sheet on the platform of D&D Beyond, not just on PC, but on the phone as well. And here I will show you how to create it on PC. So first, we'll go down here to play D&D, and then we'll select My Characters. From here, you have 6 slots that you can use regularly without having to pay for any extra characters. So we'll start off with just a basic create a character. From here, this is the character creation method. From here you have 3 choices: standard, quick builder, and pre-made. Each one of these are useful for depending on what you want to go with. If you want to go simple, you can go with a pre-made character. Very easy and ready to play. Makes it nice and quick for those who have little to no experience playing Dungeons and Dragons or want a quick character to find. A quick builder allows you to easily build your own custom-made character very quickly, or standard, which is the normal step-by-step process. For here, I will start out with quick builder, just for the new players. So with this quick character builder, you have 3 choices that you can choose. We will go with the first, class. So each of these classes are very unique and very different to each other. You have about 12 classes in the basic rule set of Dungeons and Dragons. The Barbarian, which is a raging warrior that uses the strength stat mainly. You have the Bard, which is a inspiring performer that uses the charisma stat. The Cleric, which uses the divine priest and uses the wisdom stat. You have the Druid, which is the nature priest and uses a wisdom stat. The Fighter, which is a weapons master and uses both strength and dexterity for their tool set. You have Monk, which is a martial artist which uses dex and wisdom. The Paladin, which is the devout warrior that uses strength and charisma. Primal Warrior for the ranger with dexterity and wisdom. The Rogue, which is a dexterous expert that uses dexterity. You have the Sorcerer with their innate magic user, and they use the charisma stat. The Warlock, which is a otherworldly occultist, which also uses the charisma stat. And last but not least, the Wizard, which is a scholarly magic user, which uses intelligence. As a basic character, we will start off with the well-known Fighter class, out of simplicity for playstyle, and just due to it being in the middle. Now, as for species, you have a numerous amount of species that you can play from just on the basic Dungeons and Dragons handbook. You have the Dragonborns, the Dwarves, the Elves, the Gnomes, the Goliaths, the Halflings, the Humans, the Orcs, and the Tieflings. With each of these classes, they all have their own unique stats and attributes that go along with them. Each race is unique and very interesting to play. Starting out, we'll just go with the basic human. As for backgrounds, this is where you can get a little bit more into your character play style, or what you want your character to be. For here, we have the Acolyte, which has the Magic Initiate feat for the Cleric. For Criminal, it will give you the feat Alert. For Sage, it will give you the Magic Initiate for a Wizard, and then Soldier for Savage Attacker. For here, since we are going with Fighter, we can go with Soldier, but if you wish, you can choose any one of these if you wish to multi-class. And here, we will choose a portrait, with me using this one, just because it's the first off. And this will be our character, and we will call him John. And we just have to click here, create character, and you have their stat book. As you can see here, this is a very basic character overview. Here you can see over here where you have the saving throws for strength, dexterity, constitution, intelligence, wisdom, and charisma. Each one of these is very different. Up here at the top, you have the basic character attributes. You have 17 strength, which gives you a +3 on strength throws, a 14 and a +2 for all dex throws, 14 on constitution, which gives you a +2, an 8 on intelligence, which gives you a -1, 10 on wisdom, which gives you a +0, and 12 on charisma, which gives you a +1. Your proficiency bonus is, if you can see right here on the additional skills, all of these have the black dot. This means you're proficient. So it would add a +2 if you're proficient with anything, as well as along with your regular stats. Your walking speed of 30 feet means how many tiles you can go, with one tile usually being 5 feet. Since that is usually the case, you can go about 6 tiles before you have to use an action to dash or attack. This is your armor class of 17. Anytime somebody tries to roll to hit you, they must make it of an excess of 17 or higher to hit. This +2 as your initiative means that anytime you roll to start the battle to determine order of play, you would add a +2 to any roll. Over here are your senses. These are your passives. A 10 in passive perception means that if an enemy is trying to hide from you and they roll a 6, or if they roll a 10 or less, you will be able to sense them. For passive investigation, that is a 9, and for passive insight, that is a 12. Down here, these are your proficiencies and trainings. So this is what you would be proficient in. For armor, our character John right here has proficiency in heavy armor, light armor, medium armor, and shields. As for weapons, martial and simple weapons due to his fighter trait. For tools, he has the brewer's supply, darts, and smith tools due to his stats that you could have chosen. And for languages, we have Common, Wilhorandi, and Burmic. Over here on the right, we have your actions category. This tells you what you all have. This would be your weapons attack, and some also more useful skills, such as actions that you can take, such as an attack action, dash, which allows you to double your walking speed using an action, disengage, which allows you to swiftly exit a battle or get out of a sticky situation without getting hit, dodge, which until the start of your next turn, attack rolls against you have disadvantage, grapple, which allows you to grapple onto another creature, and if you succeed, grapple allows you to grapple another creature. Using this, you may stop them from moving at all. Help allows you to help another character, usually with a ability check, attack roll, or to administer first aid when they are downed. Hide is really useful for you just make a simple dexterity of stealth check. And for this is useful for our rogues who wish to do sneak attack damage. Improvise uses anything that is not covered by most of the regular actions. It would be whatever your DM would decide would be an action to improvise. Magic, casting a spell, using a magic item, or using a magical feature of something that you have ready. That would be considered a magic action. To ready, it prepares you to take an action in response to a trigger you define. So let's say if a creature is sneaking up on you, and you wish to ready your bow to attack anything that jumps out, and a surprise action jumps out, you would be able to hit that target creature. Search, which you would make a wisdom, insight, medicine, perception, or survival check, where you wish to search for something that isn't obvious, which can be anything from looting a corpse to finding berries to eat. Shove is self-explanatory. You wish to push the creature about 5 feet away from you or cause it to go prone. The target must succeed on the strength or dexterity saving throw of which it can choose, or you commit to that action. Study is usually good for the wizards or for any other necessary events that do come up in your campaign, such as if you wish to study a certain religion, history, if you wish to investigate on certain traps, ciphers, riddles. Nature would be studying terrain, flora, weather, or certain creatures, and arcana to determine whether something is magical or not. You may use this at any time. It does not have to be just one of these, as Dungeons & Dragons allows you to be more creative than just what they say here. That is the beauty of the game. And utilize, you would use a non-magical object. such as when you draw a sword, or if you wish to partake in anything else that would remain with what your DM has involved. We will now go to inventory. Over here at inventory, you have quite the level of equipment. For here, you have equipment such as arrows, which is a ammunition gear, chainmail, which gives you a armor class of 16, which requires 13 strength to use, and gives you stealth disadvantage. That is what this D right here means. Dice, which is a social unit, a flail, which is a weapon, greatsword, also a weapon, healer's kit, javelin, short bow, spear, and traveler's clothes. As well as inside the backpack, you also do have some extra equipment such as caltrops, a crowbar, oil, rations, rope, tinderbox, torch, and water skin. All of this will determine whether or not what you have starting out when you pick your gear set, of which I will show you in a later video. Up here we have the carried weight, which is 148 pounds for John. Next we'll go to the features and traits. This will show you fighting style, second wind, core traits, which would be persuasion and acrobatics, which will give him proficiency in both of these. As you can see here, acrobatics has a proficiency bonus, and so does persuasion. Here as second wind, you can use one of these uses, which you just have to click on. That will show that you had used it. This will help you out on keeping track of what you can use. Down here, it tells you your species traits. For our character, John, the human fighter of level 1, he is a humanoid, he is medium, his speed is 30 feet, he gains heroic inspiration whenever he finishes a long rest due to the resourceful trait, he is skilled with animal handling, and he is versatile, and he gains an origin feat of his choice, which is skilled. Down here is his feats. He has the defense feat from being a fighter. You gain +1 AC when wearing light, medium, or heavy armor, which is why his armor class is 17, even though inside of his inventory it says his AC is 16 due to the chainmail. If we go back down here, he is skilled, which means he gains proficiency in any combination of 3 skills or tools of his choice. Smith tools, insight, and brew supplies is what we have, but you can always click the manage feats, and you can go back in here and you can add or subtract whatever settings you need. As for savage attacker, from the soldier background, my apologies. Once per turn, when you hit a target with a weapon, you can roll the weapon's damage twice and use either roll against the target. Usually useful for trying to get higher damage from it. Over here, we have the background, which allows you to see both your player's background, and if you wish, and you can have your characteristics, which you can always change from when you're starting to make your character, which correlates to alignment, which has 9 options. If you wish, there is I'll just cut that part out. We have faith, where you can customize any of that. We have lifestyle, which depends on your gold starting out, depending on whether or not how wealthy your characters would be, either to your DM's digression or however you feel. Depends on the hair color, skin, eyes, height, weight in pounds, age of years, and gender. You may also add personality traits, ideals, bonds, and flaws, and some additional appearance. Depending on what you want your character to look like, you can either leave this very plain or have about 6 pages worth of appearance, depending on what you wish. As for notes, this would be for your character to say any organizations they are a part of, any allies that you would know, any enemies that you would know, a backstory for your character, and a other tab for anything that does not align with these. As for extras, this will be any extra equipment or any homebrew items that will be here. So, we will go back to our skills. We have each of these are your modifiers. So for acrobatics, they would use the dexterity modifier. Animal handling would use wisdom. Arcana, intellect. Athletics is strength. Deception is charisma. History is insight. or intelligence, my bad. Insight is wisdom. Intimidation is charisma. Investigation is intelligence. Medicine is wisdom. Nature is intelligence. Perception is wisdom. Performance is charisma. Persuasion is also charisma. Religion is intelligence. Sleight of hand is dexterity. Stealth, dexterity. And then at least survival with wisdom. All of these are really useful skills, and it depends on your character build to see what skills you can get. Now, we will learn how to throw any sort of action. So let's say that you are ready to roll initiative. D&D Beyond has the ability to allow you to roll inside of the program itself. So for here, if we wish to roll initiative, we will click this button, and here we got a 5, which is a 3 plus 2. And then here on all PC, you can also see the game log, which allows you to see your previous rolls. Now, let's say that let's say our player character, John, who got a roll of 5, goes last, and he gets attacked. Now, let's say he takes 4 damage. For here, we would just need to put 4 here, and we will take the damage, where we would click that button. Now, let's say our cleric used a skill that healed him and gave him temporary hit points. Let's say he heals for 4 health, which we will type in this 4, and then click the heal button. And as for temporary HP, we click right here, and we will add 5 for his temporary HP. That is how you do it here. So any damage, so let's say our character, John, takes another 5 damage from another creature. Here, that will take away the temporary hit points. Now we will go through throws and saving throws. For strength, let's say that John wishes to use a strength ability. Here, we will click the strength button, and the dice will roll. The strength check is a 16, which is a 13 plus his 3 modifier. Now let's say he must make a dexterity saving throw, which he will use a +2 for. Here you can see his dexterity save is 11 plus 2, which is a 13, using that +2 modifier. Now let's say he needs to make a athletics check, which uses this +5. Here, John will roll the dice again, and this will be a 16 plus 5, equaling out to 21. Let's say also he were to use the dexterity with the stealth. Here you can see the disadvantage, and this is how it would go. You would roll 1, and you would roll a second dice for disadvantage. Here, his stealth check would be an 8 plus 2, which is a 10. For disadvantage or advantage, you would roll 2 dice, and you would take, for advantage, you would take the higher roll. For disadvantage, that would be the lower roll. Now let's say John, our player character, were to attack, and he will be using his greatsword. Here, you would roll the hit DC, and that would be a 7. Now let's say, for sake of an example, he does hit the creature. He would then roll this, 2d6 plus 3 slashing. Here, he would do 14 damage in total. Now that will be all for today. Thank you for watching, and have a great day.